And as always, thank you for the time today. And we heard from Lucas Brennan earlier, and he said it's an honor to be on a card with guys like yourself and Pitbull, guys that were fighting before he even had his first fight. What does it mean to you when you hear other fighters talk about you in that way?
Well, I think it's a good thing. I really haven't given it much thought. I think for me, I'm like I consider myself still young in my career, so it's honestly it's a little funny to hear, but I take it as a good compliment for sure.
And what do you make of John DeJesus as your opponent here? He's a guy coming in on 3 straight wins, including his Bellator debut. Where does that put him?
Yeah, he's a very tough opponent, and one thing for sure, he's very confident, very good striker. I know I've seen him around here in the hotel lobby. He's not lacking confidence. He's I know he's going to come with everything that he's got, and it's going to be a good test for me. But I feel I'm well prepared, and my coaches, it was a great camp for us. So I'm ready for anything that he throws at us. But he's no slouch for sure. So I'm excited to step in the cage Thursday.
Last one from me. Speaking of your coaches in your camp, how has training changed during the pandemic for you?
Yeah, it's changed. A lot of my work is in the garage and a lot of private stuff with my coaches. Of course, I got to get sparring. So, but it's limited as far as how many people are in the gym. But a lot of sessions in the garage, a lot of one-on-ones at the jiu-jitsu, just me and my coach Tusa, and it's changed. But in today's society, you gotta adapt, and I have a job to do, so we gotta find a way.
All right, we'll go to Rick Wright.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Talking to Christian Edwards before his last fight, he said even though he misses his family in Oklahoma, he considers himself an Albuquerquean. Where are you in that process? How often do you go back to California? How much time do you spend in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I don't really go back to California all that much just because all my training is in Albuquerque, but I'm permanently in Albuquerque. My girlfriend and I just bought our first home, so we are we're based in New Mexico now. We really love it there. We're excited to be there. But it is a little bit of an adjustment for me. I can't see my family all that much, to be honest with you. I don't really see my mom and dad and my brother and my grandparents all too much, just because I'm training in New Mexico. So after this fight, it's going to be good. I'm go down for Christmas and see them. But yeah, it's the good thing is that I've met a lot of great people in Albuquerque. You know, just outside the gym, my neighbors are great, and I've met a lot of welcoming people that have brought me into their families in New Mexico. So it feels good. It feels good to be surrounded by good people in New Mexico. So.
Have you got your horses out here in Albuquerque?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, my horses have been out there for a year and a half. My dog job there. Luckily for me, at first I was renting a home, and I had the stalls in the backyard, and they had an arena. Now that I just purchased the home, the stalls are being built. There's an arena in the backyard right now, so it's good for my lifestyle, and I love it in Albuquerque. Of course, I love Whittier, California. That's where I was born and raised, and that will always be my home as well. But New Mexico is my new home, and my girlfriend and I are very happy to be there. Yeah, I can't say enough good things. People there have really been excited to share their culture with me, and there's so much to learn about New Mexico, and I'm still learning. But the most important thing is the people there have been excited to share it with me, and it makes it that much more special to be there.
I'm assuming Greg will be cornering for you on Thursday. Who else is there for you?
Yeah, it'll be Coach Greg, Coach Brandon Gibson, and Roberto Alencar is my jiu-jitsu coach. So those three.
Great. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Giancarlo.
Hi, Aaron. You fought on the first card back there in July. Was it a mental hurdle fighting with no fans, or was it a lot easier for you knowing that you can hear your coaches much clearer?
Well, thankful for me that my fight was only 2 minutes, so I didn't really give it much thought. I was really in the zone, so I didn't really give it much thought. But one thing that I can say is that leading up to the fight, the whole process that they have here, that Bellator has laid out, is I believe, one of the best. It makes the fight go so much more smoother. And I really hope that when all this COVID-19 is over, that it could still be ran like this. But I can really say that I'm enjoying the process leading up to the fight a lot better. You get your own locker rooms. You're away from a lot of people. You don't really have to deal with who's going to be in the sauna, or you're going to be able to get a sauna or a treadmill. Everything is right then and right there. So I've enjoyed the process. My last fight was only 2 minutes, thank God, and didn't really give it much thought. So overall, I'm really, really liking this.
And final one for me, looking around this featherweight division, you're coming off 2 back-to-back wins. What have you learned about yourself as a fighter during this time?
Well, what I've really learned as a fighter is that I'm very strong. I've had to bounce back. Obviously, in my past, I've taken some devastating losses, and it's one thing that I have a big heart. I've got a strong team that will pick me up. I can pick myself up, and through the losses, I've bounced back with 2 great finishes, and that's really good for me. So. One thing I don't take winning for granted. There's a lot of work that needs to be done because I've lost and I know what it feels like. So I put in so much work going into fights just because I know what it feels like to lose, and I never take winning for granted. So overall, I can say one thing that I'm strong mentally.
All right, we'll go to Dan.
Hey Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Dan. How are you?
Very good. So last fight out was your first win via submission in the Bellator cage. You were talking about being a complete fighter and working on a more diverse game. Is that something you think about each time out? And in regards to your upcoming fight, do you rely on working on wrestling ability more, or do you focus power or in this sense?
I missed the last bit of the question. Can you repeat it, please?
Oh, yes, sorry about that.
No
Becoming
worries, it
a
glitched
complete
out.
fight. Oh, sorry. As a complete fighter that you're trying to look for, what do you attempt to do from your last fight to this fight as you're looking to become more of a wrestler this time around, or more of a power type puncher? Is there a time where you have to think about what you want to do more next time out?
No, not necessarily. Of course, outside of camp and during camp, we're focusing on everything. But when you go into the fight, and one thing that Coach Gary Jackson tells me is that I don't want to feel like I have to do one thing. I have to be desperate to shoot, or I have to be desperate to get the knockout. Just let the fight come, let it happen, and don't think about going in for the kill. It's gonna sound kind of funny, but the analogy that he kind of uses is that, when you first meet a girl, you don't want to seem desperate, like, I have to get the job done. No, relax a little bit, go out to dinner, let it build up, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's how I feel like it is with the fight. I mean, don't be desperate, like, I have to take him down, or I have to knock him out. Oh, relax in there. Yeah, of course, you want to be aware, you want to be intensity, but when it's time to seal the deal, do it.
Fantastic analogy right there. And as young as you are, you've had a lot of experience already. What would you say to your debuting self, just to get to where you are right now, potentially on a 3-fight win streak, to where you were back in 2017? What would you say to that young Aaron Pico?
What I would say is the team that I have now, everybody in the management that I have now, the team that I have, go with them. That's what I would tell myself. If I was in the cage, I would tell myself, I would just tell myself to relax. Relax in there, But the thing is that I wasn't really able to relax because I just wasn't confident in my skills. Of course, I had good wrestling, I had good boxing, but the fight game is a different story. And I had a rude awakening early on that it's not as easy as just going in there and knocking somebody out. There's so many aspects of this game that I just wasn't aware of. So for me, I probably would have told myself, take take it a little bit easier. Fighting Madison Square Garden on pay-per-view against a guy that's 9-2 that fought for an RFA title probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. And I probably would have, if I would tell myself to go back, I'd probably tell myself, don't sign the contract. See if there's some other opponents that I can go against. But being me and my pride, I'll fight anybody in the world, and that is true now because I'm very, very confident in my skills. Back then, I really, really wasn't. I was just a young, hungry fighter that just believed in my hands and didn't really want to wrestle all that much because I really wasn't all that comfortable on the ground, to be honest with you. And now I'm really happy with my development because I know what I know now. I mean, I've been caught and I've had a lot of things happen, and there's only one thing is that you have to adapt. You could either just quit or you could adapt. And luckily for me, I adapted. I found the right team. I found the right management. And I thank God every day for those losses. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I wouldn't have the team that I have now. So I'm thankful. And that's the past, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Thank you, Aaron. Good luck.
Thank you.
Donna?
Hi, Aaron. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
Not too bad. Of course, Henry Corrales and Adam Baric, you're going to have so much time down the line to be back amongst those guys. Does it ever irritate you that you never got the chance to get back in there with Zach Freeman, though?
Absolutely. I'm very competitive. I would love to get back in there with him. I don't know if he's fighting or what he's doing.
He's pretty much done, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty much done. Nothing against him. Yeah, he got a win over me. He beat me fair and square, so I don't really know what to say other than I take my losses like a man. And to answer your question, yeah, it bugs the shit out of me that I can't get a rematch with him for sure.
When you look at the state of the division, so there have been people who've said maybe you were rushed into certain fights or whatever, but you've beaten some really good guys. You're against John DeJays is another step up again from the level you would have started back at after the Baric fight. And the division is kind of locked up for a while anyway. The title's not going to be going anywhere for like a year, maybe, if even. So do you kind of view that timeline as working for you? Like, you want to be in the title picture by the time whoever the new champion ends up being in a year's time is actually ready to defend it?
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you that the most important thing for me is to focus on the fight that I have now. In the future, to be honest with you, I don't really know. I don't really know what that entails. I'm not looking really too far in the future. Of course, I have short-term goals, but I have to basically trust in the process and control what I can control now, and that's fighting John De Jesus on Thursday. The future, like you said, it's locked up in a year. I don't know what's going to happen. But all I can tell you is that whoever the champion is or whatever is going on, I'm just going to be prepared for whoever they throw in front of me. And I don't know who that's going to be, but my job is to go out there, represent Bellator, represent myself, and do the best that I possibly can. And that's all that I can control. So the future.
Who's going to win this main event, do you think? Pitbull or Carvalho?
I really think Pitbull is going to win. I think Pitbull is one of the best fighters in the world, to be honest with you, top 5 for sure. He has a really good, he's been in there with a lot of guys. He has a lot of experience, and I don't think Pedro Carvalho has fought the level of competition like a Pitbull. Of course, you always got to take a step up and make that jump, but I just don't think he's ready yet. But it is a big fight. He's gotten himself to this point, so he's a very good fighter. And I have nothing bad to say about him. He's gotten himself a title shot, and but I just don't think he has the oomph to beat Pitbull. He's a very good fighter. So, but it's going to be interesting. Anything could happen in the fight game. I know that for sure. So it's going to be interesting.
Santiago?
Hi, Aaron. Greetings from Amsterdam. How much has
how are you?
Coach... I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for asking. How much has Coach Anthony McKee meant for you in the beginning of your career?
Say that again? I couldn't hear you towards the end.
I'm sorry. How much has Coach Anthony McKee meant for you in the beginning of your career?
Antonio McKee was great. I really liked being at the body shop with those guys. I really did. He has a lot of energy and he's very passionate about fighting, and his knowledge is very good. So he was very influential. He showed me a lot of good things, talked very positive to me. And one thing about us is that we still keep in contact. To talk to AJ. Those guys are my family. We grew up together. So I have nothing but love for those guys. And I wish them all the best of luck and success in their career.
You are a true finisher, Aaron. All of your wins have been insane finishes. Can you feel it as well that you are a true fan favorite while only being 24 years of age?
Oh, I hope so. I really do. I try to go out there and put on good fights. Sometimes I'm a little too crazy and things have happened, but yeah, I haven't really given it much thought as far as being a fan favorite. All I can do is go out there and be exciting. But all through wrestling and being a young kid, and I've always been exciting whatever I did. So I think it's translating into fighting. But all I got to do is go out there and be smart and ultimately get the W. But if I can do that in an exciting fashion, it's just icing on the cake.
Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Simon?
Simon Romero from MMA Island. How are you doing today, Mr. Aaron Pico?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you for asking. So I have this question here for you. A lot of younger individuals look up to you because they can kind of relate to you, I guess. What advice could you give them to stay on the right path and get where you are and where you are heading in your future?
Well, one thing that I can tell younger guys, whatever it is in life, is that just take your time and be patient and just be consistent at whatever you do. That's the most important thing in life, is just being consistent at whatever you do. Don't be in a rush. Don't try to rush anything. Take your time. Listen to whoever it is, wise people around you, the veterans, the older people, and just try to be the best that you can possibly be. The biggest thing I could say is just be consistent on whatever you do, for sure.
Awesome. So I appreciate the time and best of luck on Thursday night.
Thank you.
I will take one more question here from Rick.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, my question is there, going to this fight, is there any pressure going to there or any with this fight going on?
Of course, there's always pressure, for sure, especially guys that are fighting me. They really don't have anything to lose. So, of course, there's a lot of pressure on me. But that is just part of the process. That's something that you have to learn to deal with in this game. So, to answer your question, yeah, there is pressure on me, for sure.
All right. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate your time.
Thank
we'll
you,
be
guys.
joined here shortly by Kerry Melendez.